Hey friends, you're listening to the If Only I Were Wiser podcast with Raina Wilson, where wisdom and real life stories inspire and equip women to make the best choices for themselves and their families. In a world where it's easy to always feel like you're falling short, whether your health journey looks different than others or you're juggling a million things, this space is for you. This show is so much more than just wellness information. We're not here to add to the noise. Instead, we're here to equip you with wisdom in the areas you wish you were wiser, so you can find hope and joy as you navigate your unique healing journey. So grab a cup of coffee or turn up the volume over the sound of dishes and kiddos. Let's talk about what it really looks like to care for yourself and for the ones you love with grace, intention, and faith. Hey friends, welcome back to the If Only I Were Wiser podcast. I am so excited to share this episode with you because it was just such an honest and raw and beautiful conversation. In this episode, I'm joined by my friend Laura Bell. This is actually her second time on the show, and this time she just shares her story. The past year and a half, 2 years of ups and downs, just real life chaos, and having a baby, to her husband losing her job, to their house flooding, and then seeing the Lord's provision in the midst of debt, starting over, and how to trust the Lord when it all falls apart. So I really hope you guys enjoy this episode, and I can't wait to dive in. Welcome back, Laura, to the Only I Were Wiser podcast.
Thank you so much. It's so fun to be back on here with you and just to see your face. It's like seriously such a joy. So easy to be around you.
What was not pictured for you guys is the fact we spent 20 minutes trying to figure out why our sound wasn't working. We got it though.
We did.
But also coming to the place of like, Laura is just this person that like, I kick myself that I wish she lived closer because she's just such a rich friend. I've loved seeing her grow, but also there's just so many parts of, I think, our own stories right now that align, and we'll just kind of unpack those. But before we get into it, oh my gosh, last time we recorded, life is so different.
Yes, life.
You have like a baby and a whole book now, and like life looks totally different. So let's start there.
Different. Yes, life is different. I now have 3 kids. I just have to be honest, there's a dirt dauber in my office, and it's killing me because I left my window open. So if I seem jumpy, there it is. It's fine. They're more gross than anything. But I have 3 kids now. I finally published my book and launched my book. And I took a big pivot in my business structure. And man, my life got turned upside down in 2024, really the end of 23. And that was on the brink of bringing in a new child and launching my book in a time frame that was not supposed to happen. And by the end of 2024, really knowing that I had to make a massive pivot in my business. And man, life can change so fast. And I think that the joy that I've had in this season has been knowing that like seasons come to pass. Mm-hmm. And so like the hardship will go away. The joy will come in the morning. You know, those things are like things that like, I actually am like, wow, things can rapidly change. You're not stuck forever kind of thing. So anyways, life has dramatically changed in the last year.
Well, it's just interesting, like looking back on our last recorded episode, we like unpacked your health journey with endometriosis. We started touching on your intro into writing your book and like balancing motherhood and content creation. And like, we've done a live since then, but man, so many things, and seeing your story unfold. So like, if you could just kind of give a perspective to our audience that maybe isn't aware of your story or what 2024 looked like for you and what caused all of these major life change, again, outside of you having a baby, but just kind of pushed you towards the transformation because you're like, we like actually have to do this.
Yeah. Oh man, like how transparent do you want me to be here? Because this is like, it's hard stuff. Like it's not stuff that you expect. And right. So at the end of 2023, towards the end, the end of August 2023, for all of my women out there, I feel like you can relate to this. So I'm just going to say this part although it's not important to the story. I really struggled to lose weight postpartum, and I had finally gotten all the weight off. The very beginning of August 2023, I was like, got my hormones back in order, like things. And at the end of August, I got pregnant with my third kid. And to be completely transparent, I was not ready to have a baby.
Right.
Like very much like super content being a mom of two. The transition from 1 to 2 kids was very hard for me. Not just because it was more babies and like more things, but like of the season of life that I was in and like the place where I was living, like all of the things happening in my life. It was a hard transition. So my brain, my body, like has this idea that like having another baby is repeating that story, right? Like we're going to have another experience just as horrible. And so I get pregnant. Literally, I could show you the video of me showing my husband the pregnancy test. And he looks at me and he's like, "Are you okay?" Like, it's the first thing he says. It's like, "Are you okay?" It wasn't like this. I mean,
it wasn't right. Like these videos.
He was excited. My husband wants like kids. Like, he's like, "How many can we have?" And I'm like, "Hard no, dude. Like, no." So that is the response I get. And so I get pregnant, and in September, my husband lost his job. And so to put in perspective, like he worked on our family farm, and there was a situation 1000% outside of our control that turned bad. And it cost our farm Cody's salary is basically what happened. And it's not anybody's fault, or well, it is somebody's fault, but it was something that was outside of even like my parents' control, like everybody's control. And so Cody loses his job. And what's really cool about this, and I'm going to put this plug in here because we always have to plug in the Lord in just like sustaining us and taking care of us. Literally 2 months before, Cody comes to me and he's like, "I think we should sell our triplex." So my husband and I had real estate investment property in Montgomery. We had moved away from Montgomery and moved to our farm. And I was like emotionally attached to this triplex. I was like, "We're not selling it." Like, lived there the longest. That's what we brought our first baby home to. I was like, we're not selling the triplex. And it was the highest like revenue. Like we made the most money on that property. And Cody was like, "I don't know why," in July of 2023. "I don't know why, but I feel like we're supposed to sell it." And in these moments in our marriage, we follow each other's gut immediately. Like when we're like, "I don't know why, but I feel like we're supposed to do this," we're like, "You got it. I'm going to pray about it. If I get a gut reaction, like I'll say something, but like I'm going to follow your gut." So we sold that property, and Cody lost his job in September, and we made that profit at the very beginning of September, which is wild. Like we got our check basically, like put it on the market, sold it, closed it. You know, it takes forever to do all those things. So like we had this money that we could live on. But it was like, this is supposed to be money that we can reinvest, that we could use to build a later house, that we could do for all of these things. Like we worked so hard for this, and now we're draining it, right? Like we're living on it. And I was making money, but it was maybe like $2,000 a month. Like it's not money that can sustain a family of 5, or a family of 4 about to be 5. And so Cody comes to me and he's like, "I found a training that I can go to get certified in HVAC, and I can get certified in 2 weeks. But it's in Birmingham. Like I'm going to have to go away for 2 weeks." And again, I'm early pregnant. I'm very sick. And I'm like, do we have another choice? Like this is just what we're going to do. We're going to live on this. And so he goes, he gets certified, he comes back, and he starts job hunting. And meanwhile, I'm continuing on, like, I'm selling hormone guides and like doing things on social media. I was like finishing my book, and mind you, my book was done. It was just like in design mode. My launch date was supposed to be April of 2024. And instead I got pregnant, and guess when I was due? April of 2024. And I was like, okay, so publishing companies like, okay, well, we'll give you 6 months. Right. And anybody who knows, like having a new baby, 6 months is when you're beginning to wake back up to life. Like it's not like you can do a bunch of things in that time frame. Or it feels that way, right? It's very hard. physically, mentally, all of that. And so fast forward, I'm just attempting to like basically grab at anything that I can do to like generate more revenue. And mind you, I'm buying every $47 digital product. I'm trying to learn from people. Everybody's saying they're making $10,000 a month. And I'm like, how are you selling that many things? Like, why can't I do what you're doing? Why am I not successful? Right. And so fast forward, I have our baby in April, and I really grieved through that whole pregnancy because by December, Cody had gotten a job with an HVAC company. He was making nearly like, it was like 65% less income than what he was making before. So like, think about this, like he started over. Like literally like new career, you go into HVAC as a tech, they're paying you like $15 an hour, maybe sometimes 20, like, but it was this drastic cut in our income. And on top of that, we're draining what used to be our supplemental income, right?
Right.
So
Your nest egg. Yeah.
so like everything that was safe, everything that was like put together was being taken away. And it was this like, he gets this job. He works for this man who had multiple strokes. So this guy would just like cuss him out all day. Right. And I literally felt like I watched like my husband's soul like drain from him.
Right.
And like for people who like don't know me and don't know anything about like my marriage or anything, like my husband is steady. He is calm. He is kind. He is not easily angered. Like this man is so rock freaking solid. To see him start to like
crumble
under like, this is what I have to do and I don't have a way out, right? It was this moment of like, what happened, right? Like what just happened to us? We were the ones that were helping other people financially. We were the ones that were telling other people what you can do to take care of yourself. And all of a sudden we're losing everything and there's no way to stop it. It was like, how is this happening? And so fast forward, I have our daughter, and like to tell you perspective of this man he was working for, he asks for a week off. And he was like, if you will pay me for a week off of work, because he didn't have any PTO. He was like, you'll just pay me. I will work overtime hours unpaid to like pay it off, basically.
Right.
And the guy's like, yeah, sure. And then Cody does it, and then he doesn't pay him. So like the week that I have Lottie, like we had no money. There was like no dollars. We have terrible insurance that we used to be able to put tons of money into our HSA account, and it was no big deal. All of a sudden we couldn't. And now we have thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of medical debt accruing, right? And we're like, there's people who are entering our country that aren't paying to have a baby. And I am having this and I can barely feed my family. Like, what do you do? Looking for a job at 7 months pregnant. Nobody wants to hire you. And they can't say that, but they're not going to.
They're not going to.
They're not going to. You're not an asset to their company. And so you see the dilemma we're in. Lottie is a week old and Cody is sitting out on the porch with our big kids. And I walk out and I sit on the porch with him, and he had just gotten off the phone with his boss saying like, I'm not paying you. Like his boss was like, you really think that I meant that? Like, idiot. Like, you really think I would do that for you? And so Cody is sitting there and he's like, I have hit a point where I don't know, like I have no ability to dream anymore. Like, I don't know how to dream. I don't know how to envision what we can do next. I don't know what to do. And I honestly don't believe that God is going to do anything to help us. Like, it was there.
Right.
And those are the moments as like a spouse where you like buck up. You're like, no, I'm going to do it. I'm going to help you. Like, we're going to do this thing.
Yeah.
And all I could do was just pray.
Yeah.
And so I looked at Cody and I was like, then I'm going to stand in the gap. And I was like, we're going to pray right now. And I was like, you don't have to believe. I'm going to do it. Like, you can sit here and be angry that I'm doing this right now. And I just said, God, we need an escape plan. And only you can do this. We can't work for it. We can't try any harder. We have nothing left. Please give us a way out. Give us something different. Even if what's different is not necessarily more money or more of something, like, just give us something different than this. We can't do it. We can't look for it. We can't figure it out. Mm-hmm. Fast forward 4 days later, it may have been a week later. Our oldest daughter was playing t-ball, and I go to the t-ball field. I mean, I have like a week-old baby, and I'm like hauling kids because my husband is working this crazy job. We go from a flexible, high-paying job to pennies and insane hours. And we go to the ball field. We're sitting there, and this mom walks up to me, and I know her. I don't know her well, but she walks up. She was like, "Laura Bell, you've been on my mind for like 2 or 3 weeks. It's so weird that I'm seeing you." And I was like, "Oh, okay." Like, she knows I just had a baby, like, whatever. And then she walks past me. She's like, "Is that your husband out there?" And I was like, "Yeah, he's on the field, and he was wearing his uniform, like his HVAC uniform." And she was like, "Okay." Walks away. And then after the game, this man is standing there talking to Cody and shaking his hand. He's walking with him, and they're like very invested with one another. Yeah. And we get to the car, and I overhear the conversation, and there's that bug. And literally the guy shakes his hand, and he says, "Call me tomorrow morning and you have a new job." That was it. Like, it was like,
I just have chills.
"Call me tomorrow morning, you have a new job." And I was like, and I looked at Cody, and I was like, "What just happened?" And he was like, "I'll tell you when we get home." You know, like, but yeah, because we gotta like hash this out. And so basically what happened, that mom that walked up to me, she had every single morning, I'm gonna get emotional, but she would wake up in the mornings and she would think of me. And like, I don't know her very well. Our girls were like in a class together. And so we would see each other passing. We do not do life with these people. She's very kind, but like, besides that, like, there's no other interactions that we have. We live in a small town, right? But every morning she would wake up and I would be on her mind. And then it was me and Cody, or me and my husband is what she said. And then she comes up to me at that game, and she's like, "Is that your husband on the field?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she said she immediately felt the Lord say, "Go tell David," which is that woman's husband, "go tell David to talk to him." Mm-hmm. And so she goes to her husband and says, "You need to go talk to this man. God's telling me that you need to go talk to him." And so he goes up to him and was like, "Hey man, like, I just want to introduce myself. Like, my name's David." And Cody was like, "Hey." And then as David approaches him, he sees Cody's uniform, and he was like, "Are you an HVAC?" And he was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "We need new techs so bad. Are you happy at your job?" And Cody was like, "No, I hate my job. He was like, "I like what I do, but who I work for is awful." And the guy was like, "Let me tell you all this." It was like an increase in pay, a company van, all of these like other things like came into play. He's working like a dog. Like, it's not like this is a better situation as far as just like income and all of that, but it was a pay bump. It was an alleviation of this, like, and all of a sudden you're like, "Okay, God, this isn't necessarily the best, but this is something different." This was this escape plan, right? That he just laid out for us. I'm so sorry, Raina. Is this like what you're...
No, this is absolutely perfect.
Okay.
Please,
If you want the full-fledged story, I'll give it to you, all of it to you. So I'm just going to give you these snippets because although in stress and challenge, there were moments where it was like, I know that the Lord, like, it was rigged. It was all rigged in favor. So fast forward, the way that we're set up with a school system, we live like out of district to a really good school system. They never had rules. All you had to do is just like, "I want to go to this school," and you pay a fee and you go. The first year, the year my daughter goes to kindergarten, they change it.
Oh no.
And they don't allow her to come. And we're zoned to a pretty decent public school. It's not terrible, but it's not as good, right?
Right.
And I call the school every day, and I'm sitting here going, I am broke. I have a newborn baby at home. My husband works from 6 a.m. till 10 at night. I am losing it. Like, I need one win, right? I was calling the school, any drawings, any new updates, anybody that dropped out, can I pay a fee? Like, what can I do? And it was like, "I'm so sorry, like, your daughter cannot come here. Like, unless you move into the city limits, you're done. Like, get over it, go to the school." And so I go to the back to school bash for her new public school, the one that we were zoned for. We go, I come home, and I looked at Cody, and I was like, I just need a win. I was devastated. Like, we're at that school bash, and it was a Title I school. So like very impoverished school. Okay. Again, not a bad school. In fact, it's a fantastic community of people. They just don't have a lot. Right. And it shows with everything that they offer. And so I come home and I'm like, it's not fair. Like, it's not fair. My sister moved here and like her kids get in with ease and she has all the things and she lives next door to me. Like, why can't I do all these different things? And so I looked at Cody. I was like, I just need a win. I just need one win. I'm so tired. I'm so stressed out. We don't have any freaking money. We're losing everything. Bills are piling up. Debt is piling up because we can't afford anything. And the next day, I pull back a chest of drawers in our bathroom because I was smelling mildew. I was like, where is this coming from? And there were straight up mushrooms growing out of my wall, girl. Like,
stop.
growing. And I was like, we have mold. Like, how is this happening? And I looked at Cody and I said, after church today, mind you, let me add this. We left a church that we were going to in December of 2023. A church we were very planted at that totally split and imploded on itself. And we had to go. And it was devastating. So I don't have a church family. We've lost our jobs. We've lost our money. We have this new baby. Our kid doesn't get into the school that she's supposed to. Like, all of these things are just like, what's happening? And I looked at Cody and I said, after church today, we were like visiting all these places. I was like, you got to come home and look at this. He peels back the wall. And when he pulls back the wall, the pipe that was behind that wall explodes. When it explodes, like fire hydrant explodes, and is gushing through our home. Like water filling up every single flooring crevice. It's thundering, storming, like horrible storm outside. And Cody is like trying to hold this in place while I turn the water off. And he gets down there and water is like 2 feet deep, covering it, so he can't get to it, and it's just filling. Our house is just filling up with water, like whole first floor. And they come in, and they literally look at everything, and they're like, "Well, your house is flooded, so you just need to move upstairs." So we have to move everything upstairs in our house, and then they come back the next day and they go, "Your entire crawl space is covered in mold. You cannot stay here. You have 24 hours to get out." I have like a 2.5-month-old baby, 2 other children. Like, my husband's working crazy hours with no PTO yet. Like, he had not earned PTO. And I was like, is this my win, God? Is this some sort of like joke? Is this my win? Like, I say I need a win and now I don't have a home. Like,
what?
Fast forward, that afternoon, my daughter had cheer camp. It was like community cheer camp in the school district. Like, it was at the school district that we wanted her to go to. And I was talking to another mom about it. I was like, I don't know where we're going to go. I can't find any rentals that like will match what we pay in rent now. Like, it was like single wide trailers with no floors. And we were like,
I have a newborn baby. Like,
what? Like, this is what I get? And this girl looks at me and she was like, you need to call this woman. And it was a woman we previously went to church with. And so I called her and she was like, oh, we have a townhouse on Main Street. It's right across from the primary school, the school that we want our daughter to go to. Yeah. So anyways, she tells me, she's like, call this woman. This woman says, I've got a townhouse. It's across the street from the primary school. It's a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment. Can you deal with that? And I'm like, girl, yeah.
You kidding me? My house flooded.
It's a place to live. And we moved. And the day we moved, I was like, how is it that I'm now across the street from the primary school, but I can't send my daughter to that primary school? And so Cody was like, just call and tell them what happened. So I called and I was like, hey, this is what's going on. Like, we aren't staying here permanently. And the principal says, Laura Bell, you are the only mom who has called me every single day this summer. She was like, if you can get a lease agreement to that apartment and bring it to me, we will register her for school and she can start tomorrow. Like, the day before school starts.
Oh my gosh, Laura.
It's some wild stuff here. Like, I'm telling you. And I was like, bet your bottom dollar.
I'll be there.
And I called this family that we're renting from. They were like, we've never done a lease agreement. Can you just make one? We'll sign it. And I was like, Done.
Absolutely.
And so put it together. I mean, we are living, it's a 900 square foot, like tiny place. Lottie slept in a closet. Like, like, what do you do? We're just doing it. But we got to walk our daughter to school, to the school that we wanted her to go to on the first day because we lived across the street from it. And it was one of those moments where you're like, everything feels unfair, right? Like it is unfair. If you really want to break it down, it's not fair. Like,
sure.
But it was rigged in our favor. The thing that I thought was a loss was actually my win, right? Like it was the thing that was supposed to happen because I was begging God to just make something happen, right? And there was no other way. We couldn't afford to buy another house. We couldn't afford to do these other things. Like all we could afford to do was to flood our home and move to this distance, right? And so we were living in this townhouse. Lottie is a new baby. We're in the motions. And around I would say the summertime, I had launched a hormones course, right?
I remember that.
I was launching all of this and sharing a lot of information about it. And it was this really great course. I was really proud of it. And it gave like a big boost in income. And then like no one bought it anymore when it wasn't on sale. Nobody would buy it. You know, it was just so expensive. And it wasn't.
Sure. Which is a whole other thing we could get into. But yeah.
Like I could scream. But I started to notice that I was getting so many more messages from people asking, like sending me blood work, sending me like,
interesting. Okay.
Sending me like their doctor's information, like all of these different things. And I started noticing like these people are really treating me as if I'm their healthcare person.
Right. Practitioner. Yeah.
And like, this is infringing, like this could start getting messy.
Super spicy. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm not a healthcare professional.
Right.
And I decided to start pivoting what I was doing. And I was like, this is going to be really hard because everybody knows me as the hormone girl, right? Like everybody knows me as that. What do I do? But I went in hard. I did a one-on-one call with a friend of mine and I was like, what do I do? And she was like, you pivot and you just do it. Don't ask.
And you don't
tell everybody what you're doing. Do it. And so I started teaching people how to monetize on social media because I did know how to monetize on social media.
Right.
I knew how to scale a business. I knew how to make money. I didn't know how to make life-changing money, but I wasn't talking to those people. I was talking to people who were like, I need an additional $2,000 a month. I'm like, I can do that for you. I can tell you how to make $2,000 a month on Instagram. And so I started doing these one-on-one calls. I would literally put Lottie in the car and drive her around till she fell asleep. And then I would do one-on-one.
Get on the calls. Yeah.
In a parking lot, somewhere random. But it was like anything to pay a bill, anything to afford something, anything to pay a debt. Like it was like, I just had to do it. And in October of 2024, I was supposed to launch my book. I did. And I'll be real, like it was a really sad attempt at a launch. Like, I love my book and I'm so proud of my book, but I was in a season where I had no resources to
give. Yeah.
And it was very heartbreaking. Like if you want to get really deep, like I worked for years on that and all of a sudden this big day is here. And like, how do I do this? Besides talk about it on Instagram and hope somebody says yes. Like I can't throw a party for myself. I can't, I can't afford it. I can't pay it. Like, we're barely buying groceries. Like I can't do this. And so at the end of October, I got to a point where I was like reading books about people who had like horrible lives so that I would remind myself that my life wasn't horrible. Like it was that intense. I literally read Corey Ten Boom's book called The Hiding Place. It's the most depressing thing. Like don't read the book if you're in a place. Because I did and it was a bad choice. But I was like, my life, I need to get in a mindset that like I can do hard things. And if my book is a total failure and a flop, that's not the worst thing that could ever
happen. Yeah.
Right. And so I ended up investing money that I did not have. Literally, I put it on a credit card, but I invested in a business coach. And I was like, I need you to tell me how to do this money. I need you to tell me what to do that's going to change our financial future. Tell me what to do. I will do anything. Like if it's not immoral or illegal, I'm doing like what to do. And they added me to their program. I had a one-on-one coach. I'm talking, met with them every single week, talked to them every single day. And they were like, this is how you scale your business to $10,000 a month. Like, this is what you got to do. And I started going through that process and I was like, holy crap, I can do this. I can help other people do this too. And so I started helping other women do it. And like coming to this point of being like, you know, what's really stressful is not having any money. Like when you don't have any money, you don't have resources. You don't have the ability to support yourself when you're in a season of debilitating stress. Like there are so many things that like we can say you can do for sure that are free, and you absolutely can. But when your life is just exploded by all types of stressors, like you need financial stability to be able to find ways to support yourself. You just do. And you disagree with me on that, but like, that's a thing that I learned very quickly. Like, wow, there are things that I was putting money towards that was supporting my health, and I had to stop doing those things. And I deteriorated because of it. But I went in on this journey, and within 6 weeks, I was generating thousands and thousands.
Dang.
That money going right towards debt. Am I like maxed out on the profit? No, like I'm putting everything I make back towards debt that honestly, I say all the time, I'm like, I have that debt because that debt sustained me in a season where I had nothing. Like now I get to pay it back. It is a gift that I get to pay back the people that allowed me to live in a deficit. Like when I changed my mindset, like I get to pay this back. It's a gift that I get to. And so I started doing this, and I transformed my business into a business that teaches online coaches how to scale. When you suck at marketing, your business can't thrive. Like you can't get anywhere. If you suck at selling to people, your business cannot scale. It can't do it. And so you can have a great product and never sell it, which is what was happening to me. I had a great product and people would buy it if it was $30. But the moment it was $100, they were like,
heaven forbid.
Oh, I don't know. I'm going to use my insurance instead. And like, you're going to spend more on your insurance than you will this. Like so many interesting facets to all of that. But I was learning that I was not good at selling. I was good at creating good products, but I didn't know how to sell it. So I transformed my business into that. And by December, my health was still struggling. And I straight up like went into a hardcore, like training my metabolism to wake up again. I did a lot of fasting, which I've always been very against, but I started doing some intermittent fasting to literally let my body heal. My body was not recovering. It was not healing. And I did this and it helped me in my health journey again. So I felt like by the beginning of 25, it was like, we're waking up.
Right. You're getting a breath of fresh air.
We're coming back to life. Like, but it was a long, slow burn. And although God showed up and helped and it provided, and I still am in days where I'm like, I'm not good at this. I'm not good enough. There's no way I can keep going, you know, and that's just not true. But yeah, a big transformation of life and kids and business and income. Like, what do you want to know? All of it. I feel like I laid it all out there for you. So tell me what questions you have.
No, that was absolutely perfect. I was just like, even as you started sharing, I'm like, Laura is a gifted storyteller. And I would say that because I feel like so much of marketing, because we've have similar stories and like getting started and trying to sell on social media. And we've had this conversation of like, you see the flash, right? You see the like, here's how much I made this month. But like, also I'm not going to tell you, I have full-time childcare.
And we're paying people to watch our kids.
But you don't see that part. So you see them as Superwoman with this mom cape, but not realizing, oh no, there's so much more that goes into it. So what I think one of the good places to start is, what are some of the restful rhythms and boundaries that you keep in place so you can show up as a present mother, but also show up present in your business?
Ooh, this is one of the biggest things that my business coach taught me. If you cannot work 100% and rest 100%, you will always suffer. Like when you are working 100%. You are not working distracted. You are not working with children at your feet, trying to do both. You are not trying, like you are 100% working and you are 100% resting. And so what I did is with every new client that I would bring on, I would increase my childcare, right? So I'd increase like how many days my kids would go to a place and what hours they would go.
Yeah.
So that I could take on more clients. Right? And so my kids, like I pick them up at 1:45 every day. And just basically did it in alignment with my daughter's like school schedule.
Yeah.
And so I would pick her up, then go get my littles and come back. And one of the things that I learned that I was doing so poorly when I was trying to sell low ticket digital products, when I was trying to do network marketing, is that I would try to do something really, really quick on my phone. Really quick. Let me do it really quick. Right. And I would get so irritated and so overstimulated and so frustrated because I was trying to work and distract everyone else. But children they don't care. Like, I wanted to distract them and get stuff done in hours that I didn't need to be doing that. And so, and I realized how short fused I was and how like annoyed I was. And by the end of the night, like I didn't want to be around them. Like I was annoyed with them. Right. Yep. And so what I started doing is I pick up my kids and like when we get home, I plugged up my phone, set it away, and we would clean out the car together. You want to know the nastiest place in my life? It is my vehicle. The nastiest place. Okay. If you want to come find some germs, come to my car. And what I started doing is like, I would get up in the mornings and I would be so mad because everybody's stuff was still in the car. And I was having to pack lunches and do all of these things. And I was really frantic. And then Cody tried to do it for me. And like, he exploded everything. That's wrong, right? Like, this was not good. And so we would bring the lunches in. We'd bring our backpacks in. And my kids would pack their own lunches. I'm like, you're in charge. My 3-year-old, I'm like, you're in charge of your own lunch. Figure it out. Everything that you need is accessible. Pack it up.
To you, yeah.
Yeah, pack it up. Pick out what snack bar you want, what fruit you want. Like, I always had pre-made peanut butter and jelly sandwiches that I've put in the freezer.
Grab your stuff.
Grab it. Just put it all together. And they would do that. Zip it up. They would go fill up their water bottles, put everything in the fridge, get to all together. We would pack Daddy's lunch for the next day together. And they loved it. And they would write him cards and like put it in there. So it's easy to grab the next morning. And it created peaceful mornings. But the afternoon, as soon as we did that, I'm like, I was always trying to wait and see if Cody could get home in time for dinner. And that isn't my story anymore. Not right now. It will be in probably a year. But it's not my story right now. So guess when we ate supper?
Early.
3:45 p.m. We're like, everyone's hungry and they all want to eat snacks. So instead, we're going to flip it. We're going to eat dinner together right now.
Right now.
And then you can snack the rest of the night. You want 7 Lara bars? Do it.
Sure.
I don't care. Do what you want. But guess what that created? My kids stopped asking to watch TV. Got them at the table together. We have this little angel napkin holder. We found it at the store, and my son was like obsessed with it. And so we talk a lot about angels in our house. We pray Psalm 91 every night. So like it's the angels concerning you verse. And so we play Pass the Angel. And if you're holding the angel, everybody asks you about your day.
Your day.
Talk about your day. And so anyways, we pass the angel. And then after that, the kids want to play a game. They want to color. They want to go outside and play because it's still light outside. And so giving up the need for it to like be distracted and let me try to do all these things, it actually allowed me to like clean my home, put things the way that I wanted it to be instead of being so depleted. It allowed me to stop being so overstimulated by the time my husband got home, which creates a whole other, right? And the joy that came back and knowing that like I worked 100%. I worked 100% before my children were picked up today. I get to be 100%
with them.
Yeah. Like I don't, you know what? If 75 people message me on Instagram, I'll answer them tomorrow. They are not in a hurry. And if they are, they can go find someone else because I will not be rushed. I will not be. I will not sacrifice the joy of time with my children for that. So I feel like those are things that were very helpful. And it's like really random. But even still, my dinners with my kids, somebody was like, can you give me recipes? I was like, pull out a muffin tin and put random things in everything. Set it in the middle of the table and do not use plates. Just let them pick and leave it alone. Set it free. Don't do the dishes, okay? Wash a muffin tin afterwards and be done with it. So much more peace. So much more rest and all of that. So, yeah.
Yeah. No, I just love hearing even just the pivots in your home. Like we were kind of talking before we hit record is like we feed, I think it's easy for women to feed into the like, I'm the victim, especially in motherhood, because you see the like, motherhood is so hard and like I do all these things and this laundry never ends and dishes, blah, 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 blah. When in reality, like we are feeding into that on a daily basis because of what we're consuming, whether it's digitally, emotionally, spiritually. And it like, it's yucky, but it like feeds this part of ourselves, this like martyr complex that like, look at how hard my life is because it makes me a good mother, even though I've like flipped a lid because my son won't put his shoes on.
Yeah. Yeah. And the reality of that is too, like, if you can flip the script for yourself, which I've had to do every day, this is not something where I'm like, I totally have mastered this, but like this idea of like, I blurted it out to a guy. I was test driving a car the other day and the person that was selling it to me rode with me. He asked me, he was like, tell me about your kids, tell me about your husband, you know, and I'm like telling him, and I was like, he was like, so your husband's an HVAC. So like, does that mean that like, you don't see him a lot? Like I know people in HVAC, and I was like, yeah, it's true. I was like, I'm alone a lot. And he was like, I bet that's really hard having 3 kids. And it was so fast. I felt like the Lord put it in front of me because it's something that I have to say to myself every day. I was like, it is a gift that it gets to be me. It's a gift. It is a gift that my children know that mom is picking them up every day. It is a gift to know that like my children have wrapped themselves up in the rhythms that I create. So when I lean in hard to making packing lunches really fun, instead of going, it always has to be me packing the lunches and I have to figure out the food and I have all this mental space, right? Like really, like I got to make all of these sandwiches to make it really easy for my 3-year-old to actually have responsibility in my home. Yeah. It's a gift that it gets to be me. And in that script, like it gets to be me, because what happens if I'm working full time and my husband's doing all of that? Women start going, I wish I could do all of these things for my kids.
Exactly.
Right? Like I wish that I got to be home, or got to be the one that dropped them off at school, or got to be the one that picked them up. Like, and so I started going, wow, Laura, like stop resenting the thing that you would wish for if you weren't positioned to do it. Right? Your husband has positioned you, even though there's less. Your husband has positioned you to do this. What a gift, right? And so getting yourself out of victimhood is the hardest journey. It is the hardest journey that you could probably take mentally. I would dare say.
Oh, 1,000%. Yeah. And I can even just share personally. Like this weekend, we went on a youth camping trip and it was great. I am thoroughly exhausted. Like doing youth camp, I've done it before, you know, and I did it more beefily pregnant than I am right now, but I didn't do it with a toddler on my hip and growing a baby and trying to walk and do all the things. That being said, I was already kind of burnt out from the weekend. We pull out of the parking lot of the camping site. I was the first to leave because my son started to get sick. He had woken up with a fever, was already coughing. I'm like, Lord, I just want to get home and take a shower. I need to put him in a detox bath, start all of our stuff. And I start pulling out and our car tire pressure comes on and it's like back tire low. And I'm like, okay, Lord, You know, instead, like, part of myself, I'm like, can I absolutely try and drive 45 minutes
Yeah.
to get us home and play Russian roulette with this? Yes, but I just like had that feeling like, I'm gonna just get out. I'm gonna pull over and look. Sure enough, nail in the tire.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Lord, it sounds so petty, but like, God, I specifically asked you not to do this thing. Like, Lord, I specifically asked for traveling mercies, and look what you did. So,
Line from Lion King.
oh,
Deliberately disobeyed me. Like that's
yes. And I was so frustrated. All that to say, the Lord's hand was over it in abundance because I literally turned around 2 minutes, pulled back into the parking lot. Everybody was on their hands and knees, undoing my car, pulling out the spare, putting the tire on. My chaplain not only followed me back to base, 45 to an hour drive home, but drove me straight into the on the post auto care center, walked me to the man that he knows that runs the shop and is like, hey, can you do this for me?
yeah.
Patched my tire, put everything back on. This man literally dropped what he was doing
So
and was like, when you called me and said, because I called ahead and was like, do you guys do this? We've been on base to auto care centers and they all have different rules. And he was like, well, like, I don't know what I can do because, like I have a list of people that are already in here right now. But then when we went in, he was like, when you said your chaplain had changed your tire and followed you in, I knew exactly who it was. And I knew we were going to get it taken care of for $10. All that to say, it was this place later where I was talking to Joseph when we got home and we were just unpacking the conversation. I was really frustrated. Our son is now sick, like all of these things. I was utterly exhausted. He has work. We never see him. And he was like, Raina, I understand that you're really bothered by the situation, but I think this is indicative of the way that you approach a lot of life right now, and you're being incredibly negative. And I was just like, what?
Ooh.
What? I don't think, no, you don't understand. He's like, no, I get it. You can absolutely be frustrated with your circumstances right now, but like, not once did I hear you say that you were grateful for the way that the Lord showed up, for the fact that you didn't drive 30 minutes in and then pulled over and like had to hitchhike somebody to come help you change your tire because you're pregnant and literally can't touch your toes right now.
Yeah.
With your toddler in the car.
Mm-hmm.
You literally turned around. You had everybody come help you. He was like, not once did I hear you admit that this is not the end of the world.
Yeah.
And it was just the roughest heart check for me to like actually sit there and think, yeah, that really stung. But also, if you're right, how many other areas am I doing this and feeding into this victim mentality and feeding into this martyr complex that like it's not fair, right? It's not fair and it shouldn't be me.
It's not fair, but it was rigged. It was rigged in your favor. It was rigged. Like, think if you had gotten in your car and driven 25 minutes and then your low tire pressure shows up.
Yep.
But it didn't
Yep.
because it's rigged in your favor. And I had a friend, her name's Elizabeth Servin, and she did like a life coaching session for free with me right before I had Lottie. And it was so powerful because it was like her repeating and having me repeat up like after her, like nothing has gone wrong. Mm-hmm. This is all working out in my favor. It's rigged. Everything is rigged in my favor because I love the Lord and he works things out for the good of those who love him, not for the good, for the good of those who love him.
Yeah.
We love to mess that scripture up a lot. But you see that like the way that something is so trivial, but like at the same time, there were so many other circumstances happening. And like, again, our brain wants to take the negative feedback loop and like stick to it because it's comfortable. It's safe. Isn't it wild that your brain finds safety in negativity? Not because it's what's better, but because it's what it's used to.
Yep.
That right there has been life-changing for me. It's not that it's better to be a victim. It's that it's easier.
It is. Yeah.
It's so much easier. if you can feel sorry for yourself, you can give yourself a reason to stay stuck, to stay lazy, to remind your brain why things never work for you, why so-and-so has more followers than you, why somebody makes more sales than you, why somebody's better at this than you, why somebody's husband makes more money than you. Mm-hmm. We go to a school system where people, again, are loaded. Everybody in our town works at the arsenal. They're all engineers and rocket scientists. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, it does something to your pride when you're like, I drive a 2013 car. It's paid for, mm-hmm. but we're pushing 300,000 miles on this thing. Like, but I will not allow myself to feel sorry for me, because mm-hmm. I'm paying back debt that sustained my life, that sustained my children, that took care of me. I get to do that right now. I don't get to buy that car yet. I get to, not yet. Right. Mm-hmm. Because I'm working on these other things. It's truly like, it is a place of like, again, my therapist tells me all the time, she's like, remember, neurons that fire together wire together. So when you get in a negative, I call it a negative feedback loop. This is what my coach taught me. That negative feedback loop, when you get in that, it's pathways in your brain that have been well traveled. So it keeps firing, then it wires. And when it wires, it's the automatic response. It's the automatic thing that you do because it's what your brain knows. So when you decide, I'm not going to feel sorry for myself in this, instead I'm going to take action, your brain's like, this isn't safe.
Yeah.
This is exhausting. And if you ever notice, like when you're in a new job or a new situation or a new church or a new place, how tired you feel, it's because your brain is working in overdrive to do a new thing. It's not hard. It's just new. And your body and your brain have to adjust. They just have to. And it's an amazing thing that happens when you stay the course. Let yourself recover 1% every day. Let yourself get there 1% more every single day. And it's life-changing when that happens.
Oh, 1,000%. Laura, if you could sit across, there are women that are listening to this episode and are like either hearing you and being like, this is me, or in a season where they're like, I feel stuck.
Yeah.
I need the income, or, hey, I've been on Instagram for 5 years and I literally don't know what else to do.
Yeah.
What would you say to the women that need to hear what you've walked through and how to move forward?
Oh, I think that my husband and I had this conversation yesterday. I felt like it was a good thing. So I'm going to like regurgitate it to you. I think a lot of times we start going like big picture. What's the end goal? Like, end goal is we want to be here by this time and this day, like whatever. And that's a really good thing to do. You need to have long-term goals. But what is your money making? Like if you're talking finances, what's your money making move every day? Okay. Mm-hmm. And so for an example, yesterday, my husband had not used his PTO from last year. And so he's been taking 2 and 3 days off work. I'm like, I don't know what to do with myself. You're like, here, don't trick me. Right.
Right.
So he was home yesterday. I've had some things going wrong in my business, like ads and stuff that I was running. Facebook has me in jail right now and I don't know what to do about it. But he was like, how about I take the kids to school? You start working on that a little bit earlier so you have time or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then when I get back, we'll look at things. And he gets back and he was like, what do you need me to do? And I was like, I'd really love it if you could go clean my car, little things.
Yeah.
He's also cleaning up his truck and getting ready to sell his truck. We don't use his truck anymore and we want to sell it and pay off debt, right? That's the goal. And so he was about to go and he was like, is there anything else you need? And I was like, actually, were you planning on working on your truck today? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, that's your money making move. Do that. My car can stay nasty. It doesn't.
Sure.
My car being nasty doesn't determine how much money I make today.
Right.
Your truck not being ready to sell, that's going to determine how we make money today. And that's your step. So all we need to worry about today is
the truck.
What's our 1%? What's our one move today that's going to inch the needle? Even if it doesn't happen today, it might happen next week. It might happen in 2 weeks. And we could get $10,000 that we could put towards this and put in savings. Like, these are things we can do. When it comes to situations outside of your control, just like things happening, right? What happened to my husband's job? Outside of our control. Could never have even guessed what was about to happen. The reality is that even if you have the most secure life, you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So there's this beautiful thing that the Lord did, is he made us to be able to release emotion physically. And I think there's this power. The church that we've recently joined, they like tear up the altar. Like, they are at the altar during worship. They're at the altar call. They're all the time. And every week, like, Cody and I are amazed at how many people are just there and they're laying their burdens down, right? And I think that there's a physical response when you show up at an altar and you sob. You're praying, because what's happening is you're going, I can't white knuckle it anymore. I have to let it go. And when you do, you have a physical response to that. So things like prayer, getting really quiet, nonlinear movement, like, changed my life, because what it does is it pulls you out of anxiety of the future and it puts you right where your feet are, right where you are in the present. And when you can do that, you go, what's my move today? What move do I make today? Do I feel sorry for myself and not move and not do anything and numb out and scroll and like do all these things? Or do I get present and say, Lord, what's my one move? He'll tell you. He'll tell you. He may give you a dream. He may give you a vision. He may have somebody come up to you at a t-ball field. He's going to tell you what to do, but you can't hear it if you aren't listening. You can't hear it if you're trying to numb the part of you that hurts the most. If you can allow yourself to be devastated, get it out of your body. Let it out. Nonlinear movement, you will cry, you will yawn, you will sneeze. Your body needs to get it out so that you can see straight. And so those are the things that I would tell you. Like, what is your move? What's your physical move? What's your spiritual move? What's your money-making move every day that's going to get you unstuck? Because that's going to mess you up bad. Yeah.
And especially when you get the like feel goods out of sitting in it.
It's a dopamine hit. And you don't think that it is, but it is. You get a dopamine hit by like feeling that, saying it, and being affirmed in that. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So Laura, where can our community get connected with you if women are listening and like, yes, I need that? Where can we get connected to your services and what you offer?
You can find me on Instagram. One thing I've done is simplified everything. I quit my podcast. I quit other platforms. I quit everything. And I am on Instagram. So if you want to find me, it's Laura_Jean. That's JEAN_Bell. And you can find out what I do there. You can send me a DM, ask me questions. I'm very active in my DMs. You can find out more there. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
And so for our closing question, Laura, this has just been a life-giving conversation because hearing you tell your story is just so encouraging. But if you could provide any wisdom to your younger self or for our community that is listening, what would you share?
Oof. This is like one of those things where you like want to cry because you're like, if I could look at Laura from a year ago, if I could look at Laura from 10 years ago, I don't know how to say this. You don't have to be so hard on yourself. Like hating yourself for the decisions that you made that didn't go right. Like, you don't have to be hard on yourself. You're a human. And you have permission to make 1,000 mistakes a day, because every single time you screw up, you get another opportunity to learn from a good, gracious Father who doesn't mess up. You get to learn a new lesson. You get to do a new thing. You get to be refined in a new way. And so you're a human. And you are allowed to make 10 horrible mistakes. You're allowed to make 100 horrible mistakes today because you get to learn from every single one of them. And so being hard on yourself.
Thank you so much
in a
for listening,
way
friend.
that
If today's
creates the
episode
negative
resonated
feedback
with
loop
you, be
is
sure to subscribe and leave
not
a
going
review.
to serve you.
It helps our community grow, and I'd be so grateful for your
if I could
support.
hug my old self,
Looking for
if I
a
could
break
tell
from the
somebody
hurried
like
health lifestyle?
my past self,
Check out my
I
Return
would
to
hug
Rest
her.
ebook
Be
for
like,
simple healing habits.
hating yourself.
And if you're craving a more intentional community, join Restore,
the
healing collective for the weary woman. A space where we dive into rest with a lens of faith and regular accountability.
No, absolutely.
For more wellness inspiration, follow along at Instagram at Wisely
And
Well,
I know
or
that it's
visit
going to bless our
livingwisely.well.com for
listeners
everything from
1,000,000%.
podcast
So we're just so
episodes to
thankful that you shared your
budget-friendly
time
tips.
today.
Thanks again for being part of this community, and I'll see you in the next episode.
We'll see you guys on the next episode.
Thank you so much for listening, friend. If today's episode resonated with you, be sure to subscribe and leave a review. It helps our community grow, and I'd be so grateful for your support. Looking for a break from the hurried health lifestyle? Check out my Return to Rest ebook for simple healing habits. And if you're craving a more intentional community, join Restore, the healing collective for the weary woman. A space where we dive into rest with a lens of faith and regular accountability. For more wellness inspiration, follow along at Instagram at Wisely Well or visit livingwiselywell.com for everything from podcast episodes to budget-friendly tips. Thanks again for being part of this community, and I'll see you in the next episode.